The contract is important because not only does it bind you, it binds them, but even more important is by having that contract in place, SEO companies know this. They know that results take time. They know that every single one of the clients, unless they got a whole ton of money or been through the ringer once before, is going to start getting a little nervous at month 3, month 4. And the reason is it takes SEO experts, the few SEO experts out there, 3 months on average. Now, there's so many variables to what I said, so you can't hold me to it. But 3 months on average for an age domain that has no link profile to get them to the first page. And what happens is on month 3, the client will start freaking out because they think they might be getting screwed, right? Someone's just taking their money and all these horror stories start popping in their head. And what will happen if you don't have a contract in place to keep them honest is they're going to start wanting crazy reports so they know that things are getting done and they want to know what's been done. And the problem with that is you could give them a report. They won't know what the heck they're looking at, okay? So the fear really is, are you screwing me? So a good SEO company will have a contract in place and will hold their hand to the fire to get them through this very crazy time in their relationship. But a good SEO company will also provide a ranking report. And now it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but what they're going to do is they're going to put the keywords that they're after. And if they're a good SEO company, they're going to add a little bit more to balance out the link profile. And then they're going to email you this report. Like we have a system where we can email it daily. We can email it 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, or 30. But what we do in our contract is we email you this report every 30 days. And in the beginning, you get a benchmark of where you were, meaning say for a certain keyword, your website came up in position 25. And you'll see this keyword keep going up, which represents the work that we're doing for our client and ultimately making them feel secure that, yes, they're, we're not where I want us to be, but, we are making progress. And so those are pretty much the 5 things that a business owner needs to pay attention to when qualifying an SEO company to do their SEO.
I have one last question for you I want to talk about. And that is, I come across all these people where they say, my website designer or my IT guy, he put together a website and he's doing our SEO and his marketing. And what do you think about, what's the difference between a website designer and an internet marketer?
Well, the difference between a website designer and a internet marketer is essentially the difference between a mechanic and someone that builds hot rods. I mean, that's my best analogy I can give you. What I mean by that is the website designer, when they're contracted to build the website, they're contracted to build a website that the client wants on the client's terms. And that doesn't necessarily mean that website is built for conversion. That doesn't mean that website is built for that has the right language or sales copy language or the correct call to actions. Okay, so what will happen is a business owner will say, "Hey, I need a website," because they don't know. You only know what you know, so you don't know how much you don't know. They go out there and they say, "All right, I got a website," and they expect, everybody to come to it. I mean, I'm sure you've been through this, Michael. Hey, I got a website. Well, all right, good. That's great. And I can give the analogy that you can have the best looking website in the world, but if you don't have search engine marketing, that's like putting a billboard out in the middle of the forest preserves. I mean, great billboard, but who's ever going to see it? So anyways, so the web designer builds this website that really doesn't have the correct marketing on it to really convert people from going from, a visitor to actually someone that's warmed up to actually buy. It might get some calls, but the seduction of the sale happens the minute that person clicks on the website. It comes down to how fast it is, what they see first. Does it address the questions that they'll have? Does it address the hang-up points, the sticky points in the sale process? And a lot of times, web designers build a website that the client wants because of the way it looks and not exactly how the way it works. And the second part, and this is a loaded question, so it's hard to explain it in just a few words, is the web designer does not build a website for SEO. So I always say, hey, you have a car, or you say you have a race car, and sure, it has stickers on it and a roll bar and some nice tires on it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's built for racing, because it misses the motor, the transmission, and all the things that make a race car fast. So in essence, it looks like a race car, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is. And so when we build websites, we build them for conversion and we build them for ranking. And, people come to us all the time and say, hey, I got a website, I need you to rank it. Well, okay, that's great, but here's the problem. One, I can't guarantee that website will rank because, again, it looks like a race car, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is. And number two, if I did get it to rank, the problem is if you don't convert well, if that website doesn't convert well, that's going to come back on us and make people look at us like, hey, you got it to the top, SEO didn't work. And that, comes up to the other question we were talking about online is, I believe you asked me, hey, Jack, what's the number one reason why websites or SEO fails? And, that's essentially, is the website built to convert? Is the website optimized for the correct keywords? And is the website have the correct sales copy on it? Now, I'm sure with your form of marketing, it represents the same hurdles is mine, because when someone goes to it and they just don't feel it, they just don't connect. I mean, shoot, that you could get all the leads in the world, but if it doesn't convert, then all's a waste. Wouldn't you agree?
That's right. That's that final step. Someone visits a website. Unfortunately, statistically, only 96% of people will actually buy anything from a website or contact that business if it's the first impression. The first time someone visits a website. And having a website that really converts and has a call to action on it, no matter what you do, I think without that, you're really not going to see any success for anything that a business does.
You just said something really important about the first impression, but there's another level with search engine marketing. So when someone searches the search term, like I was saying earlier, and they see the business at the top, they believe it's the best business. It also is the first impression again. And that solidifies what I was saying is like, hey, this guy, whatever. I mean, this business is at the top. This must be the best. And when you couple it with a great reputation management, and that's something we both actually do, we make sure, the client is proactive with the reviews and everything. They can't lose. I mean, with high conversion, you got third-party endorsement, which is reviews, and the marketing's all been done. The SEO has all been done ranking at the top. I mean, it's unbelievable. We've been able, and here's a real world example of something I did. I actually took a company right in your own neck of the woods in Naperville, and in 2 months, we went from concept to the guy not being able to keep up with the leads, and that's an HVAC company. So if you search AC repair in Naperville, you're going to see one of our clients not only at the top of Google, the Google My Business listings, but you're going to see in the first organic listing, you're going to see his Yelp listing, which he's got tons of reviews. And if you go on Yelp, you're going to see him at the top there. So that is effective search engine marketing. And that's how we've been able to really just knock it home for our clients and get them, the great results. And then, move on to, products that, or the things that you manage, which is the ads. But the foundation is already laid there. And anything we do is just gravy at that point.
Mm-hmm. So to bring our meeting to end, I know your time is really important. It took us a long time to get this meeting together. So I want to, thank you again for, taking that time of your busy day and your schedule to have this meeting and help us learn and help educate other business owners on the value and how to make the right decision for an SEO company. But what's some really good sound advice you can give to a new business that is just getting started and hasn't been burned before? Because just about everybody has.
The sound advice is there's so many ways to look at it. I mean, I think we were talking about it earlier. Is Einstein's the more you know something about it, the harder it is to give a simple answer. My simplest answer and advice to a new business owner is to, when they put themselves on the web, because I can completely respect the DIY guy. He's going to try to save money. The sound advice I would give is if you're going to go put yourself on the web, make sure that your name, address, and phone number is consistent everywhere you do it. Because if it's not, then when they come to companies like ours, we have to go back and unravel their mess, and that puts us behind schedule. And remember I said about that variable thing, sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes it takes more. When we have clients that come to us with citation profiles all over the place, we got to spend a lot of time correcting it. And Google is very slow to credit that, which, Michael, I think we're at about 90 days in my research. How about yours? Would you agree it's about 90 days for anything to be credited?
Yeah, I'd say it takes about 90 days.
Yeah, so they should understand that by putting themselves on the first or putting themselves on the web, there should be consistency across the board and do not keyword stuff. That's that right off the get-go, they already got one thing against them. Just put your business up there. Be very honest about your business. Wherever you can put your listing, put good images that represent your business, and write a very thorough description. We see a lot of newbies come through. They didn't write a description. And honestly, if you went to a website with, a 1-line or 4-sentence description, would it feel credible to you? No. Or if you looked a business up on Yelp or Google, would it feel credible to you? No, of course not. So why would it be different? And that's the struggle that a lot of business owners have is having the right content. And, that's why we have writers that write for us, so we do provide the right content, because I believe that a new business owner in getting themselves on the web for the first time, they're going to go try to write something, stuff about their business, and they're going to come to the conclusion that they don't know what the heck to write. So I guess to try to give you the simplest answer is if they're going to put themselves on the web, make sure their name, address, and phone number is the same on everything they do. Make sure that if they fill out, these different directories, that they put a good description without keyword stuffing, and they add images. That would be my best advice. And that lays a good foundation for search engine marketing later if they decide to hire, a company like ours.
Well, thank you, Jack. Again, this is with Jack Lombardi at Chicago Website Design SEO Company. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll have to do this again. I'm sure we'll have some other questions for you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for your time as well, and good luck with everything with your business. You guys are really killing it, and I'm really proud just to be an observer or be part of speaking with you on it. You guys are just